Hello everybody and welcome back to Max Sports Entertainment. My name is Deepak Shankar and here we're back with FIFA World Cup recap. The group stage is officially over and we're officially underway as well with the round of 32. Obviously in this expanded format, and so far there's been 4 matches and they've all been really good, really good. I mean, started off Canada getting a win over South Africa 1-0, scoring in extra time towards the very end of the game. So one of the host nations in Canada advances. And then today, 3 amazing games as well. So Brazil over Japan 2-1. Japan scored early, and you thought, oh, they could pull the upset, like I was saying before in a previous video. I really thought maybe, especially after they scored, Brazil was looking a little bit shaky in the first half. Japan had the lead after the first half, that they would capitalize and pull off a major upset and defeat one of the tournament favorites. But instead, Brazil, they bounced back. They scored 1 goal early in the second half and then 1 goal to win the game in the last minute of the game, I believe. And then after that, it was Paraguay versus Germany, and Paraguay pulls off one of the upsets of World Cup history. They defeat World Cup powerhouse, 4-time winners Germany, 4-3 in penalties after the scores were tied 1-1 in regular time. And Germany really just got outplayed by Paraguay. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It wasn't even like they kind of stole it, Paraguay, in terms of didn't play as well as Germany as to be expected, but ended up winning. But they really outplayed Germany, and in penalties, I mean, Paraguay they held their nerve a little bit better. Germany just overthought it too much, a lot of stutter steps, trying to do too much, trying to get too cute in terms of taking penalties and missing really badly. Germany, I mean, since they won the World Cup in 2014, just have very much disappointed in the 3 World Cups since then. And so they have really fallen off a cliff, I would say, on the world stage in terms of them, once being a powerhouse and a blue blood, and now they just have not been that in the last decade or so. And so Paraguay shockingly advances to the round of 16 instead of Germany. And then the game we're going to look at and recap today was Netherlands-Morocco, and another really good game as well. Morocco pulls off the upset, if you'd even want to call it that. I mean, 4 years ago in Qatar, actually, Morocco made it farther than the Netherlands. But still, Netherlands, you think of them more as a traditional footballing power, traditional soccer power. They've obviously made the World Cup final 2010, even though they lost to Spain. And they lost in that heartbreaker, that super epic match 4 years ago in Qatar. In the knockout stages to the eventual champions Argentina. Morocco did make the semifinals 4 years ago, and it was a great run and stuff. But you thought still the Netherlands would have the edge, given history and precedent. But that was not the case, and Morocco they just took it from them, and it just seems like the Netherlands might be on a little bit of a decline, and Morocco's definitely on the incline. I mean, they have such a bright future, and obviously more players instead of that are Moroccan playing for the Netherlands. They are choosing to play for Morocco instead, in terms of nationality and things like that, representing who they want to on the world stage in soccer. Obviously with those 2 countries being very close to each other, a lot of Moroccans in the Netherlands as well, population wise. I believe it's like 400,000, 450,000, something like that. They win 3-2 in penalties. In terms of the game, so it was, like I said, pretty much this one similar to Paraguay, but I would say even more so. Pretty much Morocco dominated. I mean, they pretty much controlled most of the game, especially in the second half, had much more possession, were creating more chances, and I would say they were definitely, I think Thierry Henry and Zlatan Ibrahimovic were making a big deal out of it as the game was going on, towards the end of regular time and stoppage time and extra time, that the Morocco, even after the tie, was looking to more so to win the game, much more so than the Netherlands were, and the Netherlands were more so just looking towards PKs, and we're playing more so not to lose instead of to win, which is kind of opposite to how the Netherlands used to play with a lot of their past legends, with Cruyff and Van Persie, Robin, and those guys, and so it just seemed like a odd shift away from their identity at the worst possible time, and unfortunately, they will end up being eliminated from this World Cup, and with still no World Cups to show for in their history, for such a really good, such a great soccer nation with a lot of great players, like I mentioned. And so, so you had the first goal, though, by the Netherlands in the 72nd minute, Cody Gakpo, and obviously it was very emotional for him, with the passing of his unborn child with his wife. So he was obviously, understandably, very emotional after he scored, but he gave Netherlands the lead, and you thought, oh, the Netherlands might take it, win this match, and then advance to the round of 16, but Morocco had other ideas. In the 91st minute, a cross into the box, and Issa Diop on a header scores to tie the game for Morocco. Scenes absolutely wild in Monterrey in Mexico, and so Morocco ties it at 1. And then in the first half of extra time, between the 90th minute and the 105th minute, Morocco had another chance. They really could have won the game there, but it was an outstanding save by the Netherlands goalkeeper. Let me get this right. Bart Verbruggen. Unbelievable save by him. I mean, the Moroccan player had pretty much the whole goal on either side. No defenders in sight. It was great design and great passing and stuff by Morocco, but they just weren't able to capitalize, and it was just a great save by the Netherlands goalkeeper to keep the game tied, because honestly, if he had scored there, Morocco probably would have won even before PKs. And then there weren't really many chances after that. It was a long match, obviously, another match where the energy and the fatigue and the injuries kind of started to pile up, especially on the Netherlands side, where they ran out of substitutions towards the last few minutes of the match. Even Morocco had a couple injuries as well, so it was just a true battle of attrition, heavy legs, heavy minds, etc. So just a great all-around battle from start to finish. And and then in penalties, it was just a very odd penalty shootout. And one thing, even though, like I always say, I'm not the biggest soccer or football fan, but I do love penalty kicks, and it's just like a crazy battle where obviously you got all these thousands of people in the stands, but then you have the person shooting and then the goalkeeper, and then it's really just those two and the goal, and it's just such an intense environment and moment, and you can see the stress on the players' faces, especially in World Cups, obviously representing their nation on the biggest stage, in the biggest sporting event in the world. Palms can get sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, as I would say, and so it just you can really feel the nerves and the tension, even if you're not a fan of either of the teams. I mean, I was just glued to my television, especially during penalties, with no rooting interest at all in Netherlands, Morocco, and I was just glued to the television, but also kind of nervous, even without any stakes, just knowing how big this is and how there's no in between. I mean, the good moments are remembered forever, and the bad moments are remembered forever, and so like legacies are defined, countries are defined by the results of these matches, and you can really see it. And with this penalty shootout in particular, it was just crazy. I mean, multiple times, players hitting the crossbar, even when the keepers would go the wrong way, or I think one or two times, I think it was a Netherlands player just completely shot it over the top of the crossbar, so just totally didn't hit anything. And then one of them had a short run up and didn't even hit the post. And that was kind of weird. I mean, weren't able to get that much power, and then hooked the ball to the left side of the post. And yeah, it was just. And then there was also the one where the Moroccan goalkeeper saved it, but then kicked it in on the second rebound attempt. So he had it saved, and then he kicked it into the goal. So it was just truly wild, truly back and forth. And eventually, Morocco was able to hold their nerve just enough, more so than the Netherlands, and they advance, making the last penalty, and they advance to the round of 16 for the second straight World Cup. And so they'll be playing against Canada on July 4th in Houston. And so, yeah, just outstanding match, just great tension. You can see it on the reactions from people in the crowd too. I mean, people were truly invested in both these teams, just like living and dying on the roller coaster of these emotions, as to be expected. And yeah, it just, yeah, what a match, what a match. And so hopefully it can continue to be this way for the remaining round of 32 games and onwards. And so, yeah, for Morocco, Kems Dine Talbi had an assist, and then for their goal, and then for the Netherlands, it was Crescencio who had the assist for them. And then in terms of saves, for Bruggen, despite the loss, did play really well, had 5 saves, only gave up the 1 goal. And then Yassine Banu had 1 save as well. So, and then just kind of goes to show how much more on the defensive Morocco were throughout the latter half of the game, especially compared to the Netherlands were on the defensive compared to Morocco. And so in terms of the team stats real quick here, shots faced, Netherlands 11-6, and then clearances, Morocco did have 12 more. Duels won were pretty much even. Netherlands committed 3 more fouls. And then let's see here. Yeah, possession 70% Morocco to 30% for the Netherlands. So that just really tells the whole story right there and sums it up sort of in one stat. 5 shots on goal to 2 for Morocco, 5 big chances to 1 in favor of Morocco again. And then, accurate passes, 91% compared to 79% in favor of Morocco. And then, Netherlands with 4 more saves. And, the goalkeeper tried to keep him in it, but just that mentality of playing not to lose instead of playing to win really cost them in the end. And so, just a crazy shock overall. Just taking a look at some of these final numbers here. But, just a crazy shock that 2 true European powerhouses, especially Germany, losing today. And then you have small Central American or Latin American country in Paraguay advancing, and then, South American country advancing in Paraguay, and then you have an African country in Morocco advancing. So it just kind of shows the changing of the guard, that, maybe soccer in the future could be more than just, dominated by South America and Europe, the traditional powers and stuff. And so, just crazy to see 2 powerhouses in Germany and the Netherlands both being eliminated before the round of 16 in such heartbreaking fashion. That's just how it goes sometimes. And with these World Cup matches, it's crazy. I mean, it's one match, anything can happen, especially if it gets later into the games. The underdogs, they feel more confidence, and they just gain a greater sense of belief, and that pressure starts to build, and then you get results like these today. And so, tomorrow you got Ivory Coast versus Norway. Should be an interesting one. France, Sweden, and then Mexico, Ecuador at 9 p.m., which should be a fascinating contest that I really think could go either way. And so 3 more games tomorrow, and then you got the U.S. playing 2 days from now against Bosnia in their round of 32. So we'll definitely be there for that. And so, coming up, we got... in terms of a recap, we'll recap that U.S. match, and then we'll recap in terms of the Women's T20 World Cup, going back to that, the 2 semifinal matches between Australia and the West Indies, and then England versus South Africa, and then the finals. So that's what's to be coming up. But otherwise, in the sports world, a lot of things happening. In the NBA, I posted a short about the Ja Morant trade. Draymond Green opting out of his contract, so maybe it could make way for LeBron and Anthony Davis. We got Wimbledon starting up, so just a lot of stuff going on, which is obviously great to see, because sometimes, there's nothing much going on. These months in the summer, June, July, August, there may not always be a lot going on in sports. outside of the regular seasons for sports like the MLB and the WNBA and stuff. But in terms of true high stakes action, like what's going on in the World Cup, in the FIFA Men's World Cup, and then the Women's T20 World Cup. But this summer is an exception, so hopefully it continues, and hopefully we get more really good games across both tournaments and such, and we'll go from there. So that's all I have. Appreciate you guys for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.